Good morning, students. This is class 10 science, lesson electricity. In continuation with the last class, today we are going to study about Ohm's law. We are going to study about Ohm's law. A German physicist, Professor George Simon Ohm, in 1828 gave the most important mathematical relation among voltage, current and resistance. Among relationship between voltage, current and resistance, and that is known by his name as Ohm's law. The law states, he stated that the electric current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to its potential difference across its ends, provided the temperature remain constant. What he said? He said that at constant temperature, the current flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference between its ends. Mathematically, we can say that V is directly proportional to I, or V is equal to I into R, where R is the proportionality constant for the given metal at given temperature and is said to be resistance. I is directly proportional to V, or V is equal to IR, where R is called resistance of the conductor and it is the characteristic of the substance of the conductor. So we can also say resistance is the property of a conductor that opposes the flow of current. Resistance is the property of a conductor that opposes the flow of electric current. It is represented by R and its symbol is this. SI unit of resistance is ohm or ohm. So we can say 1 ohm. 1 ohm is the resistance of a conductor when the potential difference across the conductor is 1 volt and the current flowing through it is 1 ampere. As given, V is equal to IR or I is equal to V by I. 1 ohm is equal to 1 volt upon 1 ampere. 1 ohm is the resistance offered by the conductor when 1 ampere of current is flowing through it due to the potential difference of 1 volt between the two ends of the conductor. And if we plot a graph, this VI graph, it will always comes in a straight line. The first version of Ohm's law, that is I is equal to V by R, tells us that for a given value of current flowing through a conductor, an increase in resistance of the material tends to increase the voltage across it. Increase in resistance of the material tends to increase the voltage across it. The second version of Ohm's law, that is V is equal to I into R, tells us that for a given value of applied voltage, an increase in the current flow will be possible if there is a decrease in the resistance of the material. In second version of Ohm's law, that is V is equal to IR, it tells us that for a given value of applied voltage, an increase in the current flow will be possible if there is a decrease in the resistance of the material. The third version of Ohm's law, that is R is equal to V by I, tells us that for a given material of fixed resistance, an increase in voltage will tend to increase the value of current flowing through the material and vice versa. The third version, that is of Ohm's law, that is R is equal to V by I. Resistance is equal to potential difference upon I, tells us that for a given material of fixed resistance, An increase in voltage will tend to increase the value of the current flowing through the material and vice versa. Now, unit of resistance, I have told you, the resistance is denoted by R, symbol is R, and its unit is ohm. Its unit is ohm. Now we'll study the factors which affect the resistance. Factors affecting resistance. Factors on which resistance of a conductor depend. Resistance of a conductor depend upon two main types of factors: geometrical factors and the nature of the material. The length and area of cross section of the conductor are the geometrical factors that affect its resistance. First we'll study about length. How does resistance depend on length? How does resistance depend upon length? Resistance is directly proportional to the length. Resistance is directly proportional to the length. Suppose a current is flowing in the circuit, that is I is equal to V by R. Thus, for the same value of voltage, the current becomes half only when the resistance is doubled. That is, if the length of the wire increases, the resistance it offers to the flow of current also increases. A longer wire will offer more resistance to the flow of current than a shorter wire when connected to the same source of voltage, because electrons have to encounter more number of atoms. A longer wire will offer more resistance to the flow of electrons than a shorter wire, because when connected to the same source of voltage, electrons will have to encounter more number of atoms. Now, the second is, it depends. How does it depends on the cross-sectional area? Suppose we take a conducting slab of length or wire of length L and area of cross-section is of three different types. Okay, suppose area of cross-section is A, then how will it happen? Current flowing in the conductor, current flowing in the circuit is given by I is equal to V by R. Then the current becomes double only when the resistance is half. The current will become double when the resistance is half. That is, area of cross section of the wire increases. The resistance it offers to the flow of current decreases. What happens? Suppose if area of cross section increases, then resistance will decrease. More current will flow. R is directly proportional to L, means if the length of the wire increases, resistance increases. And it is inversely proportional to area of cross section. If the area of cross section increases, if we take a thick wire, then it will offer less resistance. And resistance is less, value of electric current will increase. Thus, we can say that resistance of a conductor is inversely proportional to its area of cross section. R is inversely proportional to L by A. In order to remove this proportionality sign, we will use a constant, proportionality constant, which is called resistivity or specific resistance of the conductor. Resistivity depends only on the nature of the material and on its physical conditions such as temperature and pressure. This is rho or resistivity. Rho is the proportionality constant known as the resistivity of the material of the conductor, and we can say the resistance offered by a length of unit by a wire of unit length and unit cross-sectional area is called resistivity. Its SI unit is ohm meter. SI unit of resistance is ohm and of resistivity is ohm meter. Since R is equal to rho L by A, we can say rho is equal to R into A upon L, or ohm into meter squared upon meter, mm, simplify, SI unit of rho is ohm meter. For a particular, for a material, irrespective of length and area, the resistivity is constant. The resistivity is constant. Conductors are materials with low resistivity because they easily allow electricity to flow through them. So conductors are materials with low resistivity. Insulators are materials with high resistivity. And alloy is a combination of two or more elements. You know what alloys are. Alloys is a combination of two or more elements, or metal and a non-metal, in which at least one is a metal, and an alloy has metallic properties. Uh, but the properties of an alloy are significantly different from those of its component. Means the property of alloy changes. The resistivity of an alloy is generally higher than that of the pure metals which form the alloy. They are mostly used in electrical heating devices as they do not oxidize easily at high temperature. So we usually use alloy. Tungsten, copper, and aluminum alloys are used for making lamp filaments and high current carrying capacity wires for electric transmission. Follow, because alloys do not burn off. Alloys do not burn off easily as the metals do. And rheostat, we all know V is equal to I by R, I is equal to V by R. So to increase or decrease the current, accordingly in the circuit, a component is used which is known as rheostat that regulates the current without changing potential difference. It is represented by RH. Its symbol is this. It is a conductor, has less resistance, then more current will flow through it. I hope you have understood. We'll continue in the next class.